How you doing? In Melbourne here on Sunday morning. It's probably still Saturday for those of you in the United States and stuff. But anyway, uh, I'm here. Got to go see the Melbourne show with Drizzen, Knight Rider, and Rudolph last night. Very interesting. And this show was a little bit. There was a bit more to it. It was a little bit cooler in some aspects. Compared to the Duke of Enmore in Sydney, show. It had a few extra little things that were cool. It seemed to go a little kind of like smoother too. It was a little bit better. I don't know. It was weird, but I don't know. There was things I liked about the Duke of Enmore theater. But there was also certain aspects of the Melbourne Convention Center that were cool. The one thing that was cool about the Duke of Enmore theater was they were fine with us coming in with our banner that was kind of about the show, that was creating interest about the show and stuff. They didn't give us any crap about our banner that we had created. Melbourne Convention Center was not as progressive, I guess. I don't know what I want to say, but they were just... when we tried to pull that banner out, they just got very unfriendly. Yeah, it was kind of bizarre, especially when we were explaining it to them. We're like, we're here to see the show tonight that's about this. And we just kept getting approached. We got approached by two different security guards who were basically saying, oh, well, the owners of the venue, blah, 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 whatever, talking something about protests or something like that. I was like, okay, whatever. We just respected their wishes. Well, I did. Paul seemed to want to push his luck. The Mad Scotsman, of course, always wants to push his freaking luck. Anyway, so that was a little bit of a bummer that the Melbourne Convention Center just wasn't really very friendly in terms of us wanting to show our support and to do that sort of stuff. So it is what it is. It was a good show, though. It was really an excellent show. And like I said, the Melbourne show actually was kind of cool because unlike the Duke of Enmore theater, the Melbourne Convention Center had a big screen up behind them, and they were actually able to put up some clips on the screen. Some funny things that happened. David Rudolph was actually kind of pretty funny at a couple different points. He was, I'll kind of get into that later, but I don't know. Those of you who watch The Staircase, I'll just put this out there for you guys to think about until I get to it. But do you guys remember in The Staircase when he was trying to go through his PowerPoint presentation, and he was trying to work out his opening oral arguments and everything, and to work it out so that he was speaking in time with the PowerPoint presentation and stuff. And you guys saw how that all went with him and that guy that were doing that, and how frustrated he was getting. Really, really funny. So I'll tell you a little bit about something that stems from that a little bit later. I want to say I don't have a lot of time today, folks. Probably gonna be about half an hour here. I gotta head out. We got to get out of this hotel. I got about 30 minutes that I need to be done, and then I gotta head downstairs. We gotta check out in about maybe, I don't know, it's about 55 minutes. So I'm only going to be able to do a short one here and kind of talk about a couple things. Trust me, guys, when I get home, there's going to be a huge live. It's going to be a big-time live. It's going to be a big deal. I know some of you are probably waiting for me to get back home because I get the feeling that some of you are really not digging the way that the pixelization has been happening here when I go live. And I think that's putting a lot of people off. So, obviously, I know some of you must be waiting for me to get back home because there's just, not as many people viewing, and I assume that was because of the picture quality. I know some people are very annoyed when they see bad picture quality. It actually looks like here at the Jazz Corner Hotel, though, it looks like I might have a pretty decent signal because I'm seeing a very, very clear picture on my computer screen. So that's good, I guess. So anyway, we got to go see the show. It was great. Obviously, the Melbourne Convention Center was less than friendly with us about our banner, but, we forgive them. And we got to see the show. It was really, really awesome. I mean, you guys should see this. Here, let me show you guys something here real quick. So, this is from my balcony. I mean, right here is out the windows. You guys can see, like, you know, some of the stuff going on out there, like, you know. And then if I step out here onto the balcony, you guys can see Melbourne behind me. You know, it's crazy. I'm on the 28th floor of this building, and it's just an amazing view here. It's just absolutely just stunning, really. We got this really cool park right across the street that I was hoping to go check out, but I don't know if might not have the time today. Hopefully we're hoping to fit in a trip to the zoo today and our footy game. The footy game is where we're taking the banner, hopefully, and we're gonna be able to get to hang that over a railing and get a picture of it, and send that over to KZ, because you guys know that people have done this before, and she'll tweet it and that sort of stuff. And this is just creating more, you know, talk about Stephen Avery, Brendan Dassey, you know, continuing to spread the word, continuing to, you know, talk about the issues and keep the issues in the forefront. And so that's what we're trying to do. That's, you know, we're just here, you know, we're having fun, but, you know, we're working too. This is, you know, it's something that we all care about, and so it's near and dear to our hearts. So we're definitely, as much as we're having fun, we're also definitely trying to work at doing as many cool things as possible, bringing some really, you know, cool content to people. Sorry that the picture froze up there. That just happened when I plugged my phone back into power, unfortunately. And so it was an interesting show. I gotta say, Stephen Drizzen in this Melbourne show was kind of funny. He came out and he goes, hey, we want to get some more audience participation in this one. He says, so if I say the name Ken Kratz, what does that elicit? And you just hear the whole auditorium go, boo! And it was really funny. It was like booming. You know, the entire place goes boo. And then David Rudolph goes, and if I say the name Jim Harden, you know, what does that make everybody feel? And so it was another round of boos and everything. It was really funny. And then there was a later point where Stephen Drizzen was talking about, he kept going after Ken Kratz, dude. I gotta tell you, it was really funny. It was really great. He kept going after Ken Kratz. And he was talking about at the On Bank review, you know, that Kratz was out there and he was like stepping up to the microphone and something like that. And so Drizzen said, so I heard Ken Kratz was there. So one of my pupils or my students came up to me and everything. And he was also talking about how, you know, if you remember the press conference, Ken Kratz was talking about sweat, and Stephen Avery sweated down the sweaty hall, sweating sweatily, you know, and all that, right? He didn't actually say it just like that, but he said it very much, you know, pinpointing the fact that Ken Kratz talks a hell of a lot about sweat. Then he went on to talk about there was sweat DNA on the hood latch. The only thing Stephen Drizzen didn't say or didn't mention about Ken Kratz is the vials of sweat. I was really hoping he would, but he didn't. But the vials of sweat, remember, folks? Ken Kratz. Anyway, so he says, so Stephen Drizzen says, he goes, so at the On Bank review, one of my pupils comes up to me and goes, Ken Kratz is out there, you know, and he's like stepping up to the press microphones and everything. He goes, and he's sweating bullets. I was cracking up. So Stephen Drizzen was talking about how his pupil came in and just said, the guy is sweating profusely, basically. It was hilarious. Oh my God. So there was some humor in the show. It was great. There was a lot of interesting stuff in the show. I'm going to stay away from the staircase topic right now. I finally got a little bit more fleshed out on the owl theory here. I was having, you know, before I had some doubts about the owl theory. I still do. I do honestly still have some doubts about the owl theory, but David Rudolph last night gave me something to think about. And so when I get back home and I can actually do the subject justice and I can get on my computer and I can start grabbing clips and I can make an upload video, which I can't do here in Australia for some reason. It just won't, it's not happening. I don't think it's necessarily Australia. I think it might be a combination of bad internet and my phone maybe the memory being a little too full. So I haven't been able to upload here. But when I get home, I'm going to revisit the owl theory, and I'm gonna talk about some of the things that David Rudolph brought to my attention last night. I'm gonna try and see if I can find the evidence photos to illustrate some of the things that he was talking about last night that kind of further flesh out the owl theory. So interesting stuff. Anyway, I'm not, like I said, I want to do that. I want to do that subject justice. So I'm going to save that till I get home. All right, let me go to the comments here just a little bit. Somebody left it right here. It is. Okay. Did they mention the control question? Also, I heard they never mentioned Queen Zellner. Are they uncomfortable discussing her criticism of Laura Nyrider and her on-bank review performance? Well, Phelan, yeah. Well, the match. I personally think that they're just separate entities. The Stevens defense, or Stevens lawyers, Kathleen Zellner and her team, and then Brendan's lawyers, Drizzen and Nyrider. They're just kind of like separate entities, really. To my mind, and there could be a little bit of between them. Obviously Kathleen Zellner was somewhat critical in MAM2, but I don't know. I really don't think so. I just think maybe they didn't mention it because they're the ones there. They're the ones that are there talking. So it wasn't necessarily their obligation to talk about Zellner. So, but whatever the case, I don't really think it's a big deal. I think ultimately, they did mention the fact that if Steven is successful in any meaningful way, they will immediately be going and filing the same thing for Brendan. So obviously they're paying attention to what's going on with Zellner. Obviously, they're willing to, work with her if and when the time comes for that. I don't even think it's when the time comes for that. Obviously, because Brendan, the support for Brendan and Steven is just tremendous. I mean, both of these shows. I mean, that you saw me and Paul. We went live for about 4 minutes and 20 seconds before the show started last night, and I kind of panned around the auditorium there for everybody, and you can see there was quite a few people. So it was interesting. Anyway, let me get back to some of these comments. Thank you, Gloria. Hello, Rhonda. Michelle Saunders. Drizzen was fantastic. Absolutely. Let's see here. Yes, you all making a difference. Thank you so much, Linda. Thank you so much. Oh yeah, oh man, and when he talked about Schimmel, yeah, thank you, Michelle. Yeah. Hold on, yeah, I gotta talk about that because that's where the Mad Scotsman really got involved. It was pretty funny, so I'll explain that in a second. The world is watching KK, absolutely. Yeah, 4 minutes ago. Let's see here. Gross. Okay. Sorry you didn't see till now when you said it. I looked and yuppers you did. Okay. So we're just okay. The video is buffering for me. Anyone else? It did buffer for a second because when I reconnected my charger, it somehow kind of did, unhinged the video a little bit. Anyway, I had to get it to reconnect. So sorry about that, folks. Okay. Hello, Erekose. I hope all is well. Everything is very well down under. I'm doing very well. We're having an absolute blast. Hi, Sharon. Yeah, I'll possibly attack Kathleen Peterson. Where can we get the new merch? The new merch? Can you be a little more specific as to what merch you might be referring to? Yaya Kelly? Yeah, I'm not sure which merch you're actually referring to. Let's see here. Matt Damon called. He wants his face back. That's funny. That's what T1 likes to call me, Matt Damon. Let's see here. Oh boy, here we go again. I noticed that you eventually managed to give Steven... Yeah, I'm going to get to that in a second. I guess stranger things have happened. Have you had a chance to talk to Laura and Steve? Yes, I'm going to get to that in just a second. In fact, yes, very quickly I'll be getting to that. Team America, Matt. You know what's so funny about that, Marisa Torres? Marisa Torres, literally, I just watched that movie last night here in the hotel room when I got back from the show. We got back pretty late. But I turned on the TV and couldn't figure out the Australian channels or whatever, so I just hit channel down until I got to a channel that said comedy movies. And just so happened the movie that came on was that Team America thing. And yeah, Matt Damon, it was really odd the way that they were portraying Matt Damon's character in that. But it was funny. So interesting that you bring that up right now, because I literally just watched it last night. I came back to our hotel and couldn't shut up about it. All the meeting and yourself, Tracy and Mark, and oh my goodness, Stacy. He gives us the best hugs. Great night. Absolutely. Yep, Stacy's the man, folks. We both did the same mental wave. Let's see. Can order a Rally 2019 shirts hoodie on Discord. That's true. There's some new Discord. You know, the Wrecking Crew has been designing a couple things. So if that's what we're referring to, yeah, absolutely. Obviously, there is the website you can go. There's a website you can go to, and I'll try and find that link today and get it posted for people. But there's also the link where you can go to buy the Avery merchandise, which that money ultimately ends up going to the Averys. So anybody interested in that can. I'll try to get a link for you guys. Obviously, though, the Wrecking Crew is designing a Rally t-shirt, and anybody interested in that, that'll be awesome. Did you mention the control question? Also, I did not get to I didn't really get a chance to talk about the control question, but anyway, I didn't. I'm just going to leave it at that. I don't know about the Stephen Avery bracelets. I only know about, you know, the Brendan bracelets. And essentially, the last time I brought this up, Barb messaged me and just said, you know, yeah, you can get those from me. So if you guys want them, let me know, and I'll get some from her. And, you know, I'll purchase some from her, and then I will, you know, try to send them out to you. Or if you're in Australia, then I'll wait for Mark's. You know, I'll wait for the Hod's next trip, which will be obviously rally time. And I will send a few bracelets home with him if you're here in Australia and want one. I'll try to send some bracelets home with him if you're interested. In that way, you guys, we can save the really, it's just really expensive to send things and, you know, to post them. So it'll be better if we we wait till a trip of the Hod's that coincides, and I can send some back here with him, and then he'll be able to post them out to people here in Australia relatively cheaply. So anyway, okay, so last thing I'm going to talk about before I get off here. Uh-oh, video's buffering again. Come on. I did get to talk to them after the show. It's just that person, Phelan and Khan or whatever, that's a fake name, folks. That's somebody stirring the pot. So I'm going to get to that, but I'm going to get to it in my own time, not on the Mad Scotsman's time. Okay, so last thing I want to talk about. After the show, are you guys able to still see me? I mean, my video is freezing up here now, so this might. I really probably do need to wrap this up. Anyways, so after the show, went out, left the auditorium or whatever. The Hod and his son had VIP things. Hold on, check a second. Let me just show you. So the Hod and his son had these, right? So we left the Hod in there. We went out and everything, and so I was outside talking with Stacy and a few other supporters, and Mr. Capaldi, the Mad Scotsman there, and then suddenly the lovely Tracy Keogh came out of the auditorium, and she came over and tapped me on the shoulder, and she said, "I have an extra VIP that was meant to be for my son, but he isn't here, and I would like to give it to you." I was like, "Oh my God, yes, that is awesome." So I immediately, Mr. Capaldi had the backpack, so I immediately go, "Hey, dude, come here. Grab the shirts that I brought for Stephen and Laura. I brought Stephen the green one, which you guys have seen in the picture. I brought Laura a blue one, the cobalt one. So I asked her if she would put it on at some point and tweet a picture of herself with it or something so that I could grab it off Twitter. She smiled and nodded her head yes at me. So hopefully that's promising that she will eventually do that. So we get back there. Tracy Keogh was all nervous. It was so funny. She was so nervous. It was great. It was so much fun. I just love hanging out with all these supporters and seeing everybody's passion. But so we get back there, and of course Tracy Keogh takes the lead, and she goes up, and Professor Drizzen sees her, and obviously his eyes light up, and he's like, "Hey, Tracy," and they go and they hug and everything. And as they're like kind of finishing up their hug, he kind of like looks up, and his eyes catch me. And so as like they're like backing out of their hug that they exchanged, right? He looks at me and he goes, "And you must be Erekose." I was like, "That's me. That's me." So it was really funny, and it was great. It was just great. And now I didn't get to really talk to them a whole lot about the control question. I didn't really want to do that. They were tired. They were trying to catch a plane because they're heading back to the States and then heading back here again, like on Thursday or something like that. They have more shows here in Australia, so they are busy. So I just didn't feel like wanting to monopolize too much of their time because they were looking to get on and they had some things to do. So I didn't actually ask him, but what Stephen Drizzen did do is I said I brought you and Laura shirts. I said, and I would love it if you guys would get together. I didn't expect them to put the shirts on there. I have enough, presence of mind to realize that they're not going to sit there and undress and put on a shirt. But what Stephen Drizzen did was kind of cool. But anyway, this is what I'll say is I just asked, and if you two could get together with your shirts on at some point. Not right now, it doesn't have to be right now or immediate, but at some point, if you two can get together wearing your shirts and tweet a picture of you two, wearing your shirts, I would be over the moon and would be very appreciative. And he looked at me and he goes, "You want me to put mine on right now?" I go, "I'd love it. I'd love it," because then he was going to be wearing it in the picture with me. I was just so Stephen Drizzen was really cool, really awesome. It was just great. It was really awesome. I didn't expect him to do that. It was a pleasant surprise. So some of you may have been seeing that. I'll try to tweet the picture. I don't think I've tweeted it yet, so I'll try to tweet it today for everybody to see. Also, there's also a picture of me with Tracy Keogh and Laura and David Rudolph and everything. There's also one of those. That was her picture. I'll try to post that on Twitter for you guys as well. But it was just a fun night. And then, so even after we got out of that, then we go outside and, we had been met before the show. We went over to Federation Square and we were hanging out at Federation Square, and one of the supporters of Stephen and Brendan did actually go over there to meet up with us, and his name's Adam Bills, and he came over there and met with us. He ended up walking with us. We ended up walking like down the little river there in Melbourne towards the Melbourne Convention Center. And so we all walked down there chatting about the case, talking about the case. So it was really fun to get to talk with Adam. He was there after the show, after we got done with the VIP. He was actually one of the VIPs as well. He got to go in and meet them. You know, it was really cool. I mean, and the other thing we got is VIPs, which is cool. Let me just grab it real quick. Is we got these, and as you can see there's the signatures there, folks. So these were the signed copies we got. Really, really, really super cool. Obviously, this is going to be going on the wall in the studio. You know it. So it was just a blast. It's been a blast. Obviously, we still have more planned for today. Tomorrow I head home. I get back on my plane to head home tomorrow, and so it's been fun. It's been a lot of fun. It's been a great journey. It's been a great everything. I mean, Australia is a really, really wonderful place. Really cool. It's been a really, really great visit. Really, really it's just been a lot of fun. It's been, you know, it's been a little stressful a little bit, you know, too, because we've been running around so much trying to do as much as we can and stuff. But it's just been a lot of fun. I did not hug Knight Rider, but I did shake hands with Miss Knight Rider. And I did give her a shirt. She did not put hers on there, and I didn't expect her to. She, you know, she was wearing a, you know, pretty formal kind of dress or whatever. So didn't expect her to put hers on. So hopefully she will tweet it later. But no, I didn't hug her, but I shook hands with everybody. You know, and everything, talked to them a little bit, went up to David Rudolph and shook his hand and said, wow, man, I go, I got to tell you, I go, the Mad Scotsman, Mr. Capaldi, my friend, the Mad Scotsman, went and saw you in Amsterdam, and he told me you talked about the owl theory, but when I asked him what like some of the things that you had talked about in the owl theory, he kind of came up with blanks. I go, I'm glad I was here tonight to hear you kind of explain it, some of those aspects a little more. And like I said, I'm saving that I don't even want to go into that just yet, because I want to save that for when I get home, when I can really do that justice. The Fantastic Four in Australia. Yeah, there you go. All right, so I got to get off this thing, folks. I got to go ahead and get ready and start getting out of here. So, as far as Michelle Saunders, I'm going to leave a shirt with Mark that he will post to you. Again, we're getting jammed up today. We got a lot of things to get to, and it's going to be tough. This hotel has a very early checkout, unfortunately. You know, it is what it is. But if we'd had a little bit more time here before the checkout, I might have been able to try to meet up with people here at the hotel. So, but I'll leave one for Adam Bills, and I'll leave one for Michelle with Mark Hodnott. And then he can post them out to you guys, and then that way that you guys can get your Control Question t-shirts. So, absolutely, Linda. The live won't play. The phone is okay. You gotta check out. We got a late checkout. I'm still in bed. Right on. Well, I'm not. We're moving along. We got things to do. Hopefully, see, what we're trying to do today is get to the zoo. Hopefully. Well, the plans may have already gotten changed on me on that, but who knows? But anyway. But we're hopefully trying to get to the zoo so I can get a little bit of footage of some of the, you know, the animals here in Australia. And then we're going to the footy match. You know, footy match, for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, that aren't Australian, is Australian rules football. You know, Mr. Capaldi and I have been watching it and everything, and he's been helping me understand it a bit, and I do have a fair understanding of it now. Kind of get the basic flow of the game. I don't understand all the penalties and all that kind of stuff exactly just yet. I do understand some of them, because they are very much like the same kind of rules in like American football and that sort of stuff. Things like not tackling above the shoulders and things. So there's some things that are kind of easy to understand. But then there's other things about the rules that are kind of not as easy to understand. But I have a pretty fundamental understanding of it, and I intend to enjoy watching the footy game tonight. So that's the couple things we're trying to fit in today. And then we're flying back to Sydney tonight, staying in Sydney tonight, and then going off to the airport in the morning. I'm leaving Australia about 11 a.m. tomorrow morning. Oh, man. Oh, that's good. All right. It's not Dr. Pepper, but anyway. Thank you so much, Michelle. Thank you. You're very kind. Let's see. Thanks as always, Erica. You're so welcome, Charla. Thank you so much for the update. My best to everyone. Thank you so much, Ziggy. Thanks, Erekose. I'm making a murder. Enjoy the rest of your stay. Absolutely. Drop bears. Wait till you come to Scotland. You can meet a haggis. Haggis. The little bears are so cute. Hug one. Yeah, absolutely. Hey, they can be a little vicious. You gotta be careful with them koalas. They feel threatened. They can get pretty vicious. Oh no, out of Dr. Pepper. Yeah, no, it's just that I can't find it. Here's another. Okay, here's one. Okay, this is it. Last thing, and then I'm going out. Funny thing is I was like, I go down the streets here and I see 7-Elevens and I'm like, that's an American store, right? Going in, I went every 7-Eleven I went into. All they had was Coke and Sprite. That was it. Coke and Sprite. That's it. It was a bummer because it's like there's other markets that I've found, these easy, what is it called? Easy Marts and Easy Y, whatever. Anyway, they would have it. They had it. So I've had some Dr. Pepper while I'm here in Australia, but the 7-Elevens didn't have it. And so I went in and got a Coke from a 7-Eleven. I go, what's the deal? I go, 7-Eleven, man, these things are all over America, and they serve, Dr. Pepper or whatever. I figured this might be a safe bet where I could get a Dr. Pepper. And the dude proceeded to tell me he thinks it was a Japanese thing or Chinese or something. 7-Eleven. I was like, I hadn't heard that, but whatever. Okay. So, anyways, that was another little interesting little thing that happened. Oh, thank you so much, Michelle. Yeah, you can see the sky behind me there. It's like, yeah, if you guys go back to the beginning of the video, I did a little pan around from my balcony there. So, anyways, so I don't hate Coke. It's just not my favorite. Look how far you come from way back when. Great work. Thank you so much, Deborah Kent. Let's see. Way to represent, brother. Be safe and always enjoy your journey. Yes, absolutely. Thank you, everybody. It's been a blast. Mountain Dew. I'm not a big fan of Mountain Dew. Sorry, but I'm not. Just not one of not a Mountain Dew guy personally. Let's see. Safe flight home to all you traveling, and tomorrow's safe flight. Yep. Thank you so much, Linda. I need to get a copy of our photo together. Did I take it? Did somebody take it for us on my phone? I'll check it out, Michelle. Obviously, if I have it, I'll find it. I'll send it to you. Absolutely. I would absolutely love for you to have it. So, okay. So getting back to one more thing, real quick. All right. So the other funny thing that was talked about in the show was Stephen Drizzen. Not only did he talk about Kratz, but then he brought up Schimmel at one point. He said, and those of you who don't know, Brad Schimmel used to be in a band. He goes, and Ken Kratz was the bass player. He goes, and does anybody know the name of that band? And so Paul and I were both sitting there and we go, Alibi. And he's like, yeah, that's it. And I go, yeah, their slogan was, you can tell them you were with us. And then he said, or actually then he didn't tell everybody Ken Kratz was in it. He actually asked, he goes, and does anybody know who else was in the band with Brad Schimmel? And immediately Paul's like, Ken Kratz! And it was really funny. And then as soon as, because Paul said it so like boisterously, loudly, it was, and with such inflection, it was really funny. And Steven Drizzen like kind of chuckled a little bit, and he goes, you come all the way from Wales to come over here and like, you know, bite our ankles, basically, something along those lines. Sorry, I'm a little hoarse, folks. It's just, oh my God, we were having so much fun last night. We hung out with Adam Bills for a long time after the show. But anyway, so after that, he goes, you came over here to, like, you know, step on our ankles or bite our ankles or whatever. And immediately Paul goes, I'm from Scotland, not Wales. It was really funny. So, good times, folks. Good times. So like I said, after the show, we went and hung out in the little food court by the the Crown Casino right there near the Melbourne Convention Center. We went in there to the little food court. A lot of fun. We ended up talking with Adam Bills for a couple hours. It was really, really a lot of fun. So that is a lot of the main stuff that went down yesterday. A lot of, you know, very, very fun. Had a great time, and looking to do the last couple things today, and hopefully create a little bit more interest for in Stephen and Brendan's case for some folks maybe in Australia that don't know about it. Get them to take an interest in it. So that's about it, folks. I gotta run. I gotta get moving here. Thank you for tuning in, and as always,